My name is Theodore Cottingham with the School of Me, the School of Light, the School of You, the School of One I Am, to help us all change how we see and what we see with, so that we become something else. We begin living our lives in a path that is not stagnant, a path that is not a known, carved out repetition of something that someone formed in the past, thinking it was all there is. There's so much more. And now, God, we shall be, no more limited to the story that God is something else. Or are we, in fact, beginning to have eyes to see, recognition of, guts to embrace what is emerging? The fact, the evidence, the knowing, the becoming, the realization, the conception of before God was, I am. And you see, when you begin to touch that idea and find that it will not recoil from you if you don't recoil from it, it's not a idea of a snake or the snake of an idea that will bite, harm, or heal. Revelation, learning that which you didn't know about, becoming something that you thought was out of your reach, is not just a miracle. It's your design. When you designed you made an escape hatch. If things didn't go well, an escape plan. Or did you? Or were you? Or shall you? You see, let's go beyond God into the light that speaks of the light speaking with you, beginning to teach you that you are an energy not in peril. You just thought you were. You just thought you were a chosen people in slavery, what the allegory calls Egypt. For 400 years? Or is it all metaphor? Are all of these stories, maybe all of these religions, telling us something? Part of the story. Part of the story that the author, the founder, those writers found at that time found at that time to give insight and more freedom and more accuracy to answer the question, who am I? Why am I here? With so many planets, so many galaxies, why are we limited to one? Why are our lives so short? Why are these messages from invisible beings given to some people to write down with all of these fantastic stories or ideas of being unlimited? How did Jesus travel after the resurrection? How did he just appear in the upper room? Did he, wherever he was, did he dematerialize and then rematerialize? Or what brought into the sight of the people in those rooms? What happened to their physical eyes that all of a sudden they saw Jesus and Jesus wasn't there before? How did Jesus travel? Did Jesus travel through the walls? Did travel the idea of space submit to him so that there was no time involved in going from A to B space? I've spent my life seeking God, developing a relationship with God, learning that who God is will communicate and led me gently down through my writings and speakings like this to teach me that I was not separate, and used hundreds of Bible verses to explain to me what they meant, opening my eyes to see. What are you willing for your eyes to see this day? Are you willing to see Jesus in the room with you? An angel, a being of light. Are you willing to open your eyes and see what's all around you that you couldn't see before, into another dimension, multiple dimensions, dimensionlessly? You see, are you willing to encounter God that knows no limits? Are you willing to let God, whatever you thought of God and whatever you thought the name of God is, are you willing to come, explore, and discover what all you may learn? And are you willing to learn that you were never separate from God, to learn to let God teach you, even to the point of resurrection, even to the point of letting God say to you, come, sit in my chair. Rule with my authority. Your kingdom that is no more separate but mine, all one kingdom, all one land, every dimension, every aspect of existence, all creation, even creating all creation over again in multiple places, multiple races, who now are interconnected with each other with their mind. The mind no longer separate from the light, because you are the light of the world. We haven't known what that meant. I am speaking surrenderedly to you as I stand here, not knowing what I was going to say when I clicked on the little record button to make this video, as I have done thousands of times since about March of 2003, 21 years ago. Standing, realizing I had, and still realizing in this present day, this moment, I have the privilege to surrender my thinking mind so that it no more rules me in what I say. And what I surrender to is what I feel, a stream of energy, a stream of words that I used to call God's voice speaking to me. I heard the voice of God. Well, I didn't hear it with my ears auditorily, because it was not waved energy. It's waveless. It's direct stream of light. It's light without the connotations of your bent rays. It's light before light was known to be coherent or incoherent or understood whatsoever. And realize now, my friends, humans on planet Earth, limited to their flesh body, their flesh sight, their five senses, all these generations, we have so limited ourselves to the visible empirical, encountering, living with, limiting ourself to such a little slice of existence, thinking the visible empirical was all there is, all there was. And not respecting that which we haven't seen, the intangible, and interacting with it. Except mostly in terms of religion, spirit, spirit guides, Jesus, whatever you want to call your name for God, or spiritual beings that aren't limited to flesh. But let's go beyond all these limits. Why limit us? When you know who God is, you'll realize God and all of our definitions of God, all that we thought, all that we learned and devoted all of our thousands of hours of learning and devotion to, praying, begging, preaching, was but looking through the glass darkly. It was but maybe a pointer, droplets of revelation that became concretized, canonized, religionized, and made followers of its interpretations of what was so betrothed to the mind of separation, the mind that creates images of the real instead of the real. You see, I see the real you. I see it in form. If you're flesh in front of me, you seem tangible to have flesh, existence, consciousness. But you can't fly. You can't walk from one room to the other and be on a different star, be in a different galaxy. Flesh is so limited. Flesh is so bound by the magnetic systems of this world, the world of words, the world of perpetuation, of energy, of itself, to keep it going, to produce energy for somebody else. I'm ready to use my energy. I'm ready to understand all my body parts. I'm willing to understand the intangibility of me and that I'm not really tangible at all, except in thought. My mind that I say is conscious creates and is creating the form of me that you see, that I see you with, that we all see each other with, a web of deceit. Not that there's not some truth in it, but it's so limiting. It's so limited. The limited truth. Is it truth at all? It's all interwoven, webs of deceit, with webs of light. We have worshiped God. We have worshiped what we didn't know. Things that we had ideas about, things that we felt different people named. And those names brought about images. Those names were defined by those who use those names. And those who used those names perpetuated what those definitions were, and our minds became degraded. Our minds became permeated, pummeled by the stream of words, the stream of energy that continually fed our image-making machine. The image-making machine, images of the real, incomplete, yet thinking organisms. Organic, growth, living, because we were designed intelligently by those who wanted to use our energy, the energy of our mind. So they see there's more to the story. And if this is the first lesson, the first teaching, the first video that you've seen of mine, me addressing these things, you have probably some kind of reaction. Who is this man? What God? What God are you speaking of? But you see, I'm asking you, don't New Age me out. I started where you are, or where you may be. Or did we have the beginning that we thought we had? Or are we the energy of something else? And why are we so limited to this earth, limited to our thinking? Why do our minds work to hide us from the truth? I ask you, the logic of our minds, the rationale, the mechanical neurons, the webs of electromechanical, physiological, chemical impulses, energy that go click, click, or on, off. Is this not an organic circuit board? Is the world flat? Or is the world we live in 2D, 2 dimensions? Like, again, a circuit board, an organic one, that has processing power, that processes all of what's going on into interpreting the data of these words, of the energy, to compute. To compute what? To compute that which produces energy for somebody else. You see, God and God are not the same. You can say, oh, wait, there's only one God. You can say whatever you want. You can believe whatever you want. You can say there's God and God. You can say there's God and Satan. But you see, All of that is trying to explain. And I suggest to you this moment, all of that may have some accuracy, some truth to it. Yet, it's all limited in the scope of what is coming about now and emerging as the new creations of the Creator who has one mind, all minds connected. In the equality of truth. There's no hierarchy. This creates existence as we know it. And decreates it for some. All who want to come into the light can come now, abandoning all of the limits of their religion. You are deciding your future. The next generation is now. It's a new beginning. Earth will soon pass away. The night will be here. Work will cease. And where will we be? Creating the new or dying out with the old? Is it all science fiction? Oh, you want to appropriate that label in order to dismiss the possibilities that may exist? Are you afraid of the possibilities? Are you afraid of what's coming? Are you afraid to walk in your power? Are you afraid to arise in leadership? Are you afraid to realize and admit that everything we suffered and all that we languished in was the energy experiencing us as we gave life to energy that wanted to use us to suppress our real being? I am not interested in using someone else's energy to be me. But I no longer let something else use my energy to limit me. I am coming into the brightness of I am one. No longer subject to your religious words, the connotations, the empires that you have built around religious names, religious icons, religious suffering, religious tears, religious euphoria, religious dedication will no more dedicate me to its false gods. I bring fire from heaven, not I walk in truth, not subject to your truth that limits you here, that keeps you here in flesh and says you must die. I have a higher truth, not I have become it. I have become it not through your words, but through the words that I have spoken that are living that reform and fashion me to see all these things going on that you can't. I am not limited to this cup or this flesh, nor the words which you have given me. I do my miracles now because I am not fashioned by you. And your words won't take from me my glory, my crown, my being, my existence, my natural form, which is invisible to you with your eyes. I am emerging a new creation because I am creating me to be it. I am the creation of the living God that I serve no more, wanting a future in heaven or some perfect place, some utopia. I am not living for love that keeps me here, nor am I willing to die for love that says I must go serve another. I have come out of religion, and this is my declaration of truth this day to you. I am me. And I ask you to be me also. Not me in the flesh, but me, the universal truth, light beings of a mind that knows no end, that has vocabulary, infinite, not governed by your words. The light of love cost you everything. Because everything I worked for, everything I gave myself to, everything that I thought was a certain way, I give up now. I know it was unreal. It was not real. It was not the reality that I choose now. It was a prevailing attitude of the Creator that managed to prevent a race from becoming me. But me, I am. I am without limits. I am without love no more, that sees love as all of you equal to me, with me, to be one mind of, if you won't conquer it in your own folly. The declaration of light, love, and peace. The declaration of the just beginning me to be who I am on the earth and farther. And you shall remember these words and quote them, some of you, to condemn them. But that matters not to me, because you won't create matter in me anymore by your words spoken to condemn me. And your organic machines that you are marching around with will no more transceive orders to me to stay here. You will not fashion my neurons, electrons, protons, neurons because I have elected to fashion me according to my meons. And meons is a God particle to you, maybe. But it's my natural existence particle to me. I am not usurping you, your power, your grace, or your position. I'm simply being me, simply forming who I am by my words, creating my reality a sphere, not to be fashioned by the sphere or your fear. I am one. I am one with me, my energy. Energy being, light being, love being, love forming flesh no more, but appearing in it sometimes. So I can walk with you, hold your hand, have coffee, drink wine, eat fish on the lakeshore. Anytime, anywhere, I can be where I want to be. I can be everywhere. For I am not limited by the desecration of you, nor the sacrilege of you, to present you to you a living sacrifice to see this is all unreal. The dedication of ceremony other goes bye-bye while I have one. In my mind first, for my mind creates me. Or did your mind create God that you serve? Have you ever asked that question? Are you living the words of another? Another energy? Another purpose? Are you living love? Are you slaughtering people? Devouring their crops? Because you want to obey God? Who are you shunning from your presence? Why do you destroy the works of light? Limiting you to defeat yourself by your own words, your own acceptance of theories that decrown you, taking your crown, you throwing it at the feet of another. Is God of light the only God? Or how does existence work? How does it operate? What is abstract that's no more abstract to you? What is the quantum world? What does the quantum feel like? What does the quantum exist in? How does the quantum reproduce? Flesh no more that limits it. Are you no more the mind of the supposed supreme leader of humanity? Or humility? Are you willing to embrace, to come see your futility, the frailty of flesh, and what it has done to you, and what you are doing to it? Will you arise from from the grave, the dead of you, now in flesh before you die. Well, you see, there's another story that's unlimited, a story that doesn't limit you, a story that I've come into, a story that bears children, a story that bears the Christ child, the Christ child that's you. Of every nation, tribe, and tongue, the birth of Christ is announced now, correctly, not feebly, just thinking it's in the past, but the future is now. And the now is governed no more by your thoughts, for your thoughts will no more conquer me. And I issue the declaration of peace. My declarations come forth. And will you know that I am a God? Or God, will you be in your shoes? One mind will you have, interconnected, doing the things Jesus did and more. I have really enjoyed this. 41 minutes speaking surrenderedly to share with you things I know, things I'm learning, things I'm operating in, coming in to the reality of the regal, royal me. Asking you to also, for our promised land is beneath us no more, or ahead of us, or on the head of another. It's through the portals of joy I come not, but I come bearing precious words. Words that make sense, who will propel nonsense no more in their neurons, opening their palaces of light to walk into, to see the keys are them, a surrender to be who we really are. Before God was, I am. I am he, she, it. I am she that was one. I reproduce in love with the tender nurturing of the one who became I am. And I am is a race. The new beginning is here. And the creatures of light will not laugh at the beings of love who were so ignorant, but inviting you all to the table, to the Lamb of Light, to be slaughtered no more on it. Desecrate your royalty no more. Be sacrilege no more of your mind, conceiving you in separation. Be the regal royal, adopting no standard other, but coming into your natural identity, the identity of the original. Before God was a concept, before you thought God as a deity was something divine to worship, before all of that mess, before all religion, you existed. In the ether, not. You existed everywhere as one. There's no royalty here that isn't anymore. I'm not the feudal lords of your past feuding with each other, lords of territorial rights and control of mankind's mind. I change it all, and my name is Truth in Two Shoes, because I stand to bear it. A child, birthing me I have, a new light in love that perishes not again, opening the eyes to see, drawing back the curtains, removing the veil, producing new eyes of comfort not, but no more religionized. We enter the perfect I am. That's the promised land. Promised you by you, if you won't refute it. But it takes work to unlearn all that we've done to each other and to unwound ourselves. It takes determination to heal us, to heal our very bones. And the marrow of religion will no more infuse us with its words. The energy of its power goes bye-bye. I have said so much in this lesson, and I'm delighted for you to listen and love these words and to ask questions and come into a posture of the real, to see more than what you thought you ever could, to know more than God, to experience more than what God has limited you to see, think, or feel. Because before the concept of God, before religion, before the icons of all of your swinging lamp, your incense, your robes, your collars, your books, your feuds with each other, before all that the mind took over and fashioned to deform you, you are light that nurtures light. Unconditional love was your name. You had no condemnation in you. There were no performance standards, no test, no unworthiness existed. Nothing as contempt existed. There was nothing putrid. And we loved each other. We communicated without words. We traveled by light without any cap on the speed of light. We come now again. We come in force, the force of love. We light live. We understand who we are now. And we are shedding these bodies of flesh, coming into our new form that doesn't use our energy to be other than who we are. And yet by our own power, we can appear in the flesh that we were in to be known as one, to heal the land, to heal the rivers, to heal this earth, to be silent no more under its groaning flesh race. I make a new race now, and I am the voice of many waters cleaned up. I am the voice of Jerusalem, not groaning in your temporal molecular land. I'm not the Israel of folly. I am that which I am. The promised land is within you. You open your door for you alone. Yet even in the shedding of your skin, there'll be no no remorse and no tears, and healing will take place in those who create the body of light, love, and peace that knows no end. The ghost of your holy not, but the spirit of one shall rejoice now and wipe all tears away from those who become us. Many will rejoice and dance now, leaving their nursing homes, their hospitals, their places of refuge where they lived in fear. The guns will stop. The nuclear arms will no more race to destroy each other. It's all anew, my friend. This is not New Age. This is not new God from God to God be God worshiping. This is the original identity of you. I am to be. I am again, establishing the race of the Most High throughout the cosmos to heal it, to heal this one. The academies and forces of other will no more school you to be sorrows of. This is light, love, city, light, love, peace. This is the moment of my appearing in you to be me who I am. Meonics is about. Meology study in this school. And that's why the name is and why I've changed it. The School of Me. The real me is you in power. Royalty. Regal light of one. Needing nothing from this space we formed ourselves for before. I go now. I love you. Thank you for listening to these words, sharing them, inspiring others to do also. Let your light shine, for you are the light of the world. My name is Theodore Cottingham in Eureka Springs for now, a little city in Arkansas. But I go. With joy I proceed, and all will know these words. Listen well, my friends. Become the regal royal of the decimated no more by thought other than you being God before God was. That which I am shall be, now removed from me no more by the thought of you. And those who want to think other, wise, will no more limit me's. I raise me's kingdom of one, the light. Cities rejoice all over this nation and farther, and we take our place in the rulership of one. I love you all. I teach like this often. Not every day, maybe. But I come. I know who I am, where I'm going, what I'm doing. Worship me not, but become the real you. Worship God no more. Let the God people who only worship God fall apart. For the truth is here. And those who deny it no more will become what we were before God was ever invented to be a separate divine deity to worship. This is not sacrilege, but this is truth. In my eyes, I give you them to see what I am, to see you in my mirror. Resurrect and be the regal royal. I love you all. I've come through database 1, all my messages. I've come through the Bibles. I've come through the wickedness. And now I stand to show you what doesn't exist anymore and thought led by, but what does exist and who will be me with the mind of the interconnected one, the infinite I am. Seeing morally not. Seeing without love no more. Be no more the mortals limited by. The immortal me rises, and I'm one. Theodore, with king's breath, for the eagles not, but the angels who love, the angelhood of one arising, all God before God to be the one we are again. I love you all. Good day. Theodore, with the School of Me in Eureka Springs. The School of Me.com. I love you. See me, Regal Royal. You and your marrow. Be the one I am. I love you. Good day. Thank you for listening, loving, coming into altered reality no more. Be the real you. Good day.